The topography in the Canadian Shield varies drastically depending on your location. In the more eastern regions of the Canadian Shield, the landscape is more rugged and hilly, with lakes both large and small. This is because of the large glacier's recession. The surface of the ground is mainly covered in Precambrian rocks with a light layer of soil on top. As well as that, the glaciers have left a lot of debris that was frozen in the ice beforehand. The retreat of the glaciers made the excessive debris to clog up rivers, causing them to flow in many different and sporadic ways. In terms of elevation, the more northern areas measure 100 meters above sea level, but in the south, the land is measured 600 meters above sea level. The areas near the Hudson Bay and the James Bay are very close to sea level. Most rivers flow into these two areas. Now going back to more southern areas, there are multiple man-made regions. These regions include cities, towns, and factories.
In the Canadian Shield, there are short, cold winters and long, hot summers. In the southern part, there are very cold, snowy winters, while the summers are warm and long. The southern part of the Canadian Shield gets lots of rain and snow each year. The northern part gets very little rain and snow each year. Since the Canadian Shield is so big, the temperature changes a lot. In the southern parts of the Canadian Shield, such as Ontario, the climate stays about the same all year long. The average temperature in the winter is negative 18 Celsius. In the summer, the temperature is 25 Celsius degrees. The southern part has 15 hours of daylight in the summer, and in the winter there's about 8.5 hours of daylight. In the northern part of the Canadian Shield, they get 5 hours of daylight in the winter and 24 hours in the summer months, which means that pretty much the more north you go, the colder the climate.
Vegetation. The Canadian Shield is over 95% tundra. Most of the vegetation is in boreal forest. The farther north you go, the thinner and farther apart the trees get. The more you go south, the bigger and closer together the trees get. The south has forests that mix up deciduous and evergreen trees. Evergreens such as spruce, pine, fir, and balsam dominate the landscape because they are more suited to the thin sandy soil of the Canadian Shield. Although there are deciduous trees, poplar, white, birch, and others, they are not in huge number though, and are small and weak, used for making paper rather than being cut down for lumber. The northern part of the Canadian Shield has no trees because there is too much permafrost, too little rain, and too short of a growing season. The lowland soil is also too dense for trees to be grown. The Canadian Shield is not all just boreal forests and ice though. Muskegs, swamps, or bogs do contain moss, grasses, and partly dead vegetation. Additionally, a variety of flowers grow on the rugged land of the Canadian Shield. Fireweed, twinflower, rosemary, wild chives, Kalmia heath, and saxifrage are just some to name a few.
The Canadian Shield is rich with lead, copper, gold, zinc, silver, iron, uranium, and nickel deposits, causing the extraction of these minerals to make up a core component of the Shield's economy. Magma from the deeper layers of the earth forces its way through the cracks in the Shield's rock, creating some of these mineral deposits. Other causes include glacial strippage of top layers to expose mineral formations on the surface, and ancient meteorite craters. Further mineral deposit discoveries hold ongoing potential in the Canadian Shield, making it a place of interest for mining projects. In Sudbury, Ontario, one of the largest and most famous mining towns in Canada, minerals found from what evidence points to as an ancient crater impact point are extracted. Another ancient crater in the Manicouagan Reservoir in northeast Quebec serves as an extensive hydroelectric project in the Shield, and sulfide mines in the Flin Flon Greenstone Belt, one of the largest sulfide mining districts in the world, holds 27 gold deposits and has over 183 million tons of sulfide already mined. Even diamonds, one of the most precious jewels on the earth today, have been discovered to appear in the Canadian Shield via kimberlite pipe eruptions, where pipes of rare igneous rock carry diamonds from a depth of over 150 kilometers. Ekati and Diavik mines are two active mines which search for kimberlite diamonds. All of these mining sites contribute to the economic growth of the Canadian Shield, where the extraction of valuable minerals makes up the cornerstone of its economy.